Hello, my beautifuls and my interwebs. I am here with another review of the episode. Episode 4 of Star Trek Discovery. Let's see how I liked this episode. Hello beautiful people, I am back with another video, and this video is Discovery, Season 3, Episode 4. Forget Me Not, I believe it is. Let's get into the spoiler-free reviews. What I thought about this episode was really touching. Like, how their mission on Discovery is to get the Federation back together. And how now we get to learn more about these races and stuff like this. We get to learn more about a lot of things. And in all aspects of this episode that I've seen, is that the acting is on point. We got some crazy moments in time where you get some people fighting, something like that. Anthony Rapp and the one who plays Tilly, acting was on par. No joke about that. Would I say something about this episode or what it reminds me of? I can't say. Because obviously the episode does not remind me, and excuse me, I'm not wearing my glasses, so that's why I can't see shit. So ignore that. I have to clean them. So yeah. Then I'm like, what does this episode remind me of? Like, I don't know what it reminded me of because this is new. And right now it reminds me of forming a new federation where they're going to see what's going to happen. Like, I think that them visiting the Trail homeworld, it was great back when Jadzia went to the Trail homeworld, to her home, and we saw that in DS9. That was long ago that we got to see that, and see how that is, like, 930 years later is, like, really good. That's one of the, that's what it reminds me of about that. And then, if you saw the, what was it? Short Treks episode with Book and him visiting Discovery, I kind of liked it where they gave that Data a voice. I don't know who voices the Sphere Data, but whoever did it was a damn good job at acting. Even the visual effects, you know, like how they did the effects, like, of the Sphere Data showing up. I'm sorry if I said a spoiler in the spoiler-free thoughts, but I just thought to mention this because we never seen nothing like it, you know? And I don't think in any of the Star Trek episodes, please get me wrong in the comment section down below, if you know the episode, and if you know it, now I can go look it up. Thank you. But what I got from this episode is like really heartfelt, touching. And we got that back when Pike was in command of Discovery. It's like, now we get all these, like, Doug Jones was on par with the acting. Wilson Cruz, Anthony Rapp was all based good on it. And I think the actor who played Adira did a sweet job in this episode. A non-binary character coming together to find out who she is. You know, like, there's people out there who do not rectify with what gender they are because of the genes in their body. You know, sometimes we're not all perfect. You know, it's like, you got to find out who you are and you got to go through these life steps. That's what I'm getting from this episode. It's like you're going on a journey to figure out your future, your destiny, your power, your strength, your weaknesses. All go through a journey and you have to figure that out, where your journey is going to take you. Like for me, I know my journey is going to take me to do content, videos, helping people, animals, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that this episode took us on a journey, and we all have a journey in life. That's what I'm getting from this episode. That this journey is coming together as one to feel the need. To feel the need. And my interwebs, if that's what I'm going to call, because hey, we're all interwebs, right? But if you see Star Trek, it's like a journey through the Trek series. Like you go through a journey. Like, what's this? What's that? This and that and that. And I love the references in this episode, which I'm going to get into the spoilers in a minute, is that I was pretty happy to see what's going on within the reality. You know, we all have a reality. Well, Star Trek is the reality. And in this episode, it shows us to find who we are as a people. To find who we are. To see where we are. And to be somebody who we think we want to be in that path. And that's what I'm getting from this episode. Alright, guys. That's all I got to say about this episode, because that's a wrap. It's a wrap. Oh, that's a wrap. Let's go into the spoilers now, people. Let's go. Pointing at you. Let's go. Pointing at you. You ready? If you haven't seen the episode, please pause right here. Boom. Pause right here. Go watch the episode and come back, and then we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, the episode begins where they're talking to Adira and stuff like that. And Adira's her name. Now I got her name. And Culber and them are there talking to them, saying, what are we going to do? You know, I can go inside and explore your intestinals or whatever he was saying. And Adira's like looking around being like, I don't know who I am. Like, what is this? Like, it's really harsh. And the other alternative is go to the Trill homeworld, which she agrees to. So they wanted Culber to go down, right? And he's like, I can't go down. And they're trying to figure out about Adira, right? But let me rewind for a little bit. We get starting off the episode with Culber talking like he's doing a log, and he's telling the crew, saying, hey, if you wanted somebody to talk to, you could talk to me. Like he's trying to be the counselor for the ship. And I'm like, well, he's trying to do that because they don't have a counselor on Discovery. The crew's stressed out as it is. And he's scanning the crew and making sure they're good and all that. And that's it. So we get back to Adira and them saying that Adira wants to go to the Trill homeworld and see if she can regain the memories of the symbiont, Senatal. Admiral Senatal. So, he, I don't know what I don't know, she's non-binary, So, Adira is gonna go to the Trill homeworld, and they want Dr. Culber to go. But Culber goes to Burnham and says, you need to go with her because you could be motivation to her and stuff like that. And Burnham is like saying, but you're the doctor, but he tells him she agrees to go because, you know, Culber convinces her. So they're gonna go, right? Meanwhile, the crew is like stressed out and all this and that, and Saru's trying to be a good captain. He wants to be like Pike was, a very good captain, and he's talking to the computer while Burnham and Adira go in the Trill homeworld. And when they get to the Trill homeworld in the episode, it's like visiting the Trill homeworld 930 years later, and DS9 reminds me of that episode about going back in time. Seeing the Trill homeworld in DS9, and then now seeing the Trill homeworld 930 years later, it's like, really? Like, I cannot believe it. We saw the bads on Trill, which were pretty good to see since DS9, which I think is like really good they brought it back. And I was like, oh my god, it was like real damn good. So they go back to the Trill homeworld, and Burnham is talking to the people there because the chancellor or whoever he is says, yes, you can come. So they go down and they want nothing to do with it. They just want the symbiont out of the body. They never even seen this before with a human host. And that's... So Burnham shoots them all because they get the security guards and Trill to stop them. And she's trying to find the bads on Trill. And one of the council members comes up and says, I could take you to the bats. I could take you to the bats. So they go to the bats, and Adira goes in the bath, right? And he takes the orb and puts the orb in there to monitor her adrenal levels, which was pretty good to see that in sense of that nature, like right there. So she goes in the bath and she disappears. Burnham wants to go in there too, and the council members come and try to stop it, but she's like, I can do this. I need to go in there right now. You need da 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 da. So they let Burnham in there. Meanwhile, Saru's talking to the ship, and the sphere data's talking to him through the ship. And it reminded me of that short Trek episode where the Discovery's just sitting there collecting dust, and there's the sphere data talking. And Saru's like, what am I going to do with the crew? Because I don't know what to do. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So he starts trying to figure out ways to help the crew. And the sphere data said, why not give them shore leave and do something for the crew? And Saru's like, really? This and that? Trying to come up with ways. So on the Discovery, he gives the whole crew the day off. And because the sphere data said that they could take care of the ship while the crew takes a day off. So then all of a sudden, we see Saru, Georgiou, and them that are close eating a meal together, and they're talking, and there's a fight between Stamets and Tilly, and Stamets and, what's her name? Detmer. And Tilly's talking about dark matter because because when they were in the spore room, you know, where Stamets does his jumps, Tilly was talking about dark matter, and he gives her an attitude and tells her to shut up or something like that, and he walks out. But now in the dinner, they start fighting about it, and then everybody starts fighting, and Georgiou was just sitting there watching this unfold, and she's like giving a little smirk, in my opinion, being very vindictively evil, which I think Michelle Yeoh played the character to a T. Thank goodness for that. Also, what I saw in this episode was like really good. In a sense where we get to see everything come together as one. So then all of a sudden we get to see the characters interact. Detmer talking about Stamets' blood, being really bad about it. And then after that, everybody decides to leave, and it was funny. Georgiou leaves saying, oh, the drink was awesome, I'm taking it. So she leaves. Like, she was asked there and she had to be there. She didn't have a choice, what she said, but whatever. So they all left. And then later on, we see that, you know, Detmer comes to talk to Dr. Culber and saying some little thing before they all got called. And they all got called, right? And the Sphere Data decided to do movie night. And this reminded me of when Enterprise, on Star Trek Enterprise, when the crew of the NX-01 had movie night. That made a reliable relevance to Star Trek Enterprise about when they had movie night for the crew. It's like a crew had movie night. And I was like, that is very damn good that they're having this movie night. And somebody asks him saying, who made this movie? Who picked the movie? He's like, not me. It's just Sphere Data. I was so intrigued to see that the sphere data is coming to life to talk through the ship. We never seen something like that in any episode. I think in one of the TOS episodes, I'm not too sure. Please leave a comment down in the comment section below if you know if there's an episode like that. So, I was like, this has gotten really good. So then Adira goes into the bats. Michael Burnham follows her, and she's running saying, I'm getting attacked by these things. And Burnham's like, let them take you. They want to open your memories. And she lets them take her, and it goes back to when they're on a transgenerational ship. And I think it was either probably one of the Universe class ships, you know, Enterprise J type ship. That's a Universe class ship. So if you ever see the episode in Star Trek Discovery when Archer travels to the Enterprise J, that's a Universe class ship. It's a transgenerational ship. So her boyfriend, Adira's boyfriend, gets the Trill symbiont, and now we figure out how she got the symbiont. So they're on a transgenerational ship, and I think that's right there during the burn. Oh, that was during the burn. I think it was during the burn or something when she was young. I think like I don't know if it was during the burn or after the burn. I'm not sure. They weren't specific. So then we get to see Adira and her boyfriend and all that, and she gave him a quilt, and she has he has Senental's host because he's Trill. And all of a sudden, we see that they're interacting and they were lovers and stuff like that. When he got be the host of that symbiont. And I was like, that's so good, you know, it's so nice. And then all of a sudden, Adira and him are having all this time together, and then we hear an explosion. And she's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And I think this was after the burn. Yeah, after the burn. That explains it. It was after the burn. I think when she was 15 or 16 or something like that. I said a year ago. She's 16 right now, but I don't know when it was. But she told the medical bots, saying that he's not going to make it. She's like, we're going to have to transfer the symbiont because the symbiont's healthy and well. She's like, give it to me and I'll protect it. Give him to me and I'll protect him. That's what she said. So she took the host. She got to be the host of the symbiont. And now we got to know how she got the symbiont. And then she went to the escape shuttle, and then that's it. So then we get to see all the iterations of the hosts that used to be of that symbiont. And one of them was Admiral Senental. And one of them was a mysterious guy from Picard. I love the Picard reference in this episode, where we got to see the guy in the full Picard uniform. Star Trek Picard uniform. I forget what year. I think that's the year 2366 or 23 something. Don't get me wrong, I forgot the year, but it was from the year of Star Trek, when Star Trek Picard was there, you know, of the when Starfleet, you know those uniforms they wore on Picard? Yeah, those uniforms. Sorry guys, I got a brain fart because I don't remember the year, but yeah. The uniforms from Star Trek Picard that we saw Yo wearing, Riker, all of them, right? And he was a captain. I think he had like 2 or 3 pips, but the guy that was there was a captain. And that was it. And then we got to see Senental and her boyfriend, and they're talking like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So they get out of the bats because that's the end of it, right? And she starts naming every single fucking host of that symbiont. And then she says, I am Adira. I think Senental is the symbiont's name. But I could be wrong. Please leave a comment in the comment section below if I'm right or wrong. As well, I'm sorry. But what I got from this is that every Trill wants to be a host, and we got to find out about the Trill homeworld after the burn. They lost a bunch of symbionts, and there's a lot of Trills want to be hosts, but there's not enough symbionts for them, which was like a really bum-hitting thing. So after she names it, the woman of the council says, I can be your guide. I could be your guide through this. Adira says, look, I can help bring the trail back as a whole. And she's like, I like that. And then she tells Burnham, if you make the Federation great again, or something like that, I will be glad to be, if we can come up with a signing so we can rejoin your Federation. That really did hit home with me. And what I got from this is that this episode was like so sweet, so good, so in dignity that it was good. Now Adira found herself, who she is, and now she's living this host. And she says, I think my mission's on Discovery because I need to help Discovery find the Federation. Do this and that. And Burnham was with her on this journey trying to find herself. And now, finally, they get back to the ship. And that's the end of the episode. Before the end of the episode, we see Stamets saying sorry to Detmer and Tilly and saying, you know what, let's talk. I think a dark matter interface would be very good for the spore drive. And what I think about this is a prediction. Prediction, don't tell me I'm wrong or not. But I think they're going to find the Federation, which is in the next episode. What we saw in bits of the episode. That Stamets and Till are going to come up with a non-human interface, and they're going to give it to Starfleet, the spore drive technology. And that's going to make Starfleet great again. And then Stamets will find a way to find out where they went wrong, all this and that, to help them build the Federation great again. And what I'm thinking is, how are they going to convince the member species who created the Federation to join back, like the Andorians? I don't know what species are left in the Federation, but we'll get that in the next episode probably. But how are they going to get the Andorians to join if the Andorians have not left? I don't know if the Andorians left the Federation or not, but I think we did see it in season, no, not in season, but we did see it in episode 1, where they joined with the, what was that race? Orion Syndicate. But what I'm thinking is, how are they going to get the Andorians to rejoin the Federation, because the Andorians were the ones helping Starfleet the most? That's going to be a challenge, but we'll see what happens in the next upcoming episode. Well, guys, if you like this video, please rate, comment, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment in the comment section down below what you think of this episode and any questions I asked. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, guys. Peace, my interwebs.